let's continue going on with what happened with the winter anime. Let's talk about Misfit of Demon King Academy. I don't know what is with season twos, but season twos have been. Now I haven't seen it. I'm not watching Attack on Titan until the series is over. Until it's over, and then I'll watch. I'm a binge watcher. So to continue though about the Demon King Academy, season two, not many people liked it. Season two, the diehard and misfit of Demon King categories are gonna obviously always rock with it, but it just seemed very, very, very generic. And the thing about Misfit of Demon King Academy that made it so cool is that it kept things simple. The protagonist is extremely overpowered. Everyone likes him. Everyone wants to be him, and he's just taking over an unknown enemy that made it a little mystery. Like, who is he fighting against? Who is this person that like basically took his identity, X, Y, and Z? But then in season two, it seems like one, everyone's overpowered, right? And everything's kind of happened too fast, and it just with everyone being overpowered, him being overpowered just doesn't mean anything no more, right? And it just feels kind of dumb, and the writing, everything just feels kind of lazy, and it's like, oh, there's no real story or mystery anymore. And it seems that season two is the hardest for all these writers. Even going back to Rise of the Shield Hero, Rise of the Shield Hero season two was terrible. It seems like season two is the hardest season for a lot of these anime to live up to the hype. And it just seems like, and I thought Misfit Demon King Academy had the formula, especially because they kept things simple, which made it amazing. But they messed up by making all the other characters overpowered too. So now everyone on his team is overpowered and feels like he's not really needed. And then it just kind of gets a little too over the top and not really interesting. No real mystery anymore. No real danger because he's not even needed. And yeah, I think that's kind of what messed it up, in my opinion. But Misfit of Demon King Academy was supposed to be one of the huge hitters of winter and failed. Just kind of why winter anime to me is one of the biggest letdowns. I think winter anime 2023 is one of the biggest letdowns, especially with the hype coming in for this specific season with the huge drops. I really think Misfit of Demon King Academy is it the biggest letdown of the season? No, no, definitely not the biggest letdown of the season. I would say it's third. It's third of letdowns of the season, but it's kind of why I think the winter anime sold a lot. Yeah, I couldn't even finish it. Couldn't even finish it as a person that loved season one and thought it was hilarious, especially when he kept bringing Pro back to life. It kept killing, but hilarious, hilarious. It started off pretty smooth, but after the first episode, it just kind of. I don't know. I think season two is the hardest for people. So if we're gonna skip right into, let's talk about the biggest letdown of the winter anime. The biggest letdown. Reptile, you still in here with me? Oh man, Reptile has heard this talk, this debate a million times, so I know he's tired of it. But if we're gonna talk about the letdowns of winter anime 2023, this one was the biggest. This one was the biggest letdown of winter 2023. Tokyo Revengers, man. I just once again, I'm gonna just say it. No improvement. I've talked about this a million times. Protagonist with no hope of winning. They give him no sort of redemption. They don't make him cool or anything. There's nothing cool about him. He's weak, cries a lot, and he wants to do something amazing. And he doesn't even work hard. He's not smart, nor can he fight. And he doesn't work hard and he cries. Nobody's going to like that. And they made all these side characters in this anime so much cooler. The villains are so amazing. And you're like, yo, how is he supposed to win? It's like, how is Takamichi supposed to win when everybody else is so much stronger, so much cooler, and he doesn't even work hard? The best analogy is like your homie with a New Year's resolution to lose 20 pounds and eats a double bacon cheeseburger with a large shake for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. But he tells you he's going to lose 25 pounds. Hey, yo, bro, stop talking to me. You know what I'm saying? Don't talk to me no more. I don't want to hear it. He's so trash. He's so weak, and he cries a lot. It is like the writer doesn't even like his own main character. I don't really know why, but this was the biggest letdown of Winter Anime 2023, and I blame the writer. Reptile said it best. It's hard to read and watch. I had to stop watching. I had to stop watching. I mean, would it be generic if he defeats every opponent with fists all season? Oh, that's actually a good point. Reptile said the side characters are the focus. The side characters are the focus, and that's going to lead us into another anime that we're going to talk about. But I mean, would it be generic if he defeats every opponent with fists all season? I think. Would it be generic? In a way, yes. In a way, yes, it would be. But it also would be that kind of great help in terms of he improves, right? And then he also has the cheat code, as long as they also admit that he has a cheat code because he can go into the future and he knows what's going to happen. So he also adds that to his resume to where it's like, okay, cool, it's a little bit generic. But at the same time, it's like, yo, that is what happens. People get stronger, people get better, right? And if we think about it like this, what makes it even worse is that he's really a 30-year-old dude. I think he's like 27 and 30. Or he's like a grown man against these kids, 11, 12, 13 when he was trying to do this. And that was his mindset, and he never changed it. And it was like, yo, bro, like, you're older too. Why are you selling so much? And I think if he had, like, at least trained, at least worked hard to be smarter, or worked hard, you could kind of be on his side. But when he doesn't work hard, and like, bro, I don't even care. If you don't care about your main character, why should you? Why should I? Why should I watch this show? I'm not here to watch the side characters. What makes this unique is the lack of skill he has. So he uses diplomacy and cheat code. What makes this unique is a lack of skill he has, so he uses diplomacy and a cheat code. That's actually a good argument for it. That's cool to be that's cool for it to be unique, right? That's cool for a side character to be just diplomatic. But even people that preach peace as a leader, what are they? They're very intelligent. They have to be very intelligent because if you're like, okay, I can't fight, I got to use my smarts, mind over brawn, right? I gotta use my smarts. If you're not smarter than everybody and you can't fight, and then you don't work hard to improve anything, the story in itself to me was unique. Like, we're getting an anime about gang life. Like, that's what made it lit. It's like we're getting an anime about gangs and this perspective, and he's this super weak kid, and everyone likes a comeback story. Everybody likes, yo, when I was younger, bro, I wasn't the guy. Even if we use sports analogy, a lot of sports kids be like, "Yo, no, I wasn't the guy. There was a kid better than me." Zion and John Morant. If you guys watch NBA basketball, were on the same AAU team. They weren't the best players on the team, and they got better, right? So, like Kobe Bryant, he didn't come out the gates his rookie year as a guy. Like, he got better, and it's like, oh no, you gonna say, oh, that's fake. It's like, no, he worked hard his ass off, so he got better. He improved. Jimmy Butler, the same thing. So, um, that's a cool story to make. Even though I don't want to be generic. If you don't want to be generic, you turn it like this. You got a guy that's diplomatic and cries to get gangs to stop. He's not smarter than anybody, and he can't fight, and he's supposed to do these great things. Why? How is he gonna win? Like, there's a limit to being different and be like, oh, we're gonna do a different angle. But there still has to be a realization of, okay, well, realistic view of like, okay, well, how is he supposed to win though? Like, yo, yeah, it's cool that he's not the smart kid, and he's like the average Joe that everybody can get behind. At some point, he has to be a guy, right? Um, he could just tell his ex, like, "Come on, yeah." At some point, but then it's like a girl saved you, and it's like, bro, nobody wants. But a girl, what is a girl gonna do? Like, we're talking. Like, what is the girl gonna do? She's not a super fighter. She's not in the gang. Did she? And then going into the future, but then you say you can use that as a cheat code, but then he's not intelligent. He's not a genius. So it's like you're giving an average Joe a power, and he doesn't even really know how to utilize it like that. I think we were talking about Blue Lock just a couple minutes ago, where I gave it the MVP. We talk about Blue Lock. Blue Lock, the dude was like average. He's like, yeah, bro, I don't got that many skill, but he adapts. His mind always adapts. He's a great adapter. So that's what makes Blue Lock lit. It's like it's not kind of over the top cheesy. It's like, he's adapting. Like he doesn't have these skills. He does get down on himself. So that's kind of the cool part. No matter who you are, like if you're just flat out average, you do nothing great, not even work hard great, which is a choice. You're gonna live off average. Like I don't care if you're like, oh well, I can't be like for the story. For the story, why are we rooting for him? Why are we seeing his point of view? I don't care about his point of view. He's an average dude, bro. No one cares about it. No one cares about the average background character. He's a background character as the main character, and the writer doesn't even care about it. So I think that is what's limiting him. Even if because I always compare Tokyo Revengers to ReZero, I think the main character is even better than him. Right? Like he has an upper hand, even though he's like super weaker. And I couldn't really watch ReZero because I really just got sad. But he's adamant about the fantasy life, so he understands what happens. He just had the strongest advantage because he has no powers. He's a really regular kid in the fantasy world. But this is just like he doesn't even work hard or train or try to learn how to fight. Like if I beat the crap out of somebody and you don't like eventually, like I'm gonna take karate class or judo. Like nothing. He just gets beat down and yeah. Like no, it's just not smart. Reptile had a good point though. I think you might be onto something. Maybe that's why the writer just wanted to be extremely different, but I think it ended up backfiring on him because he's so generic. Um, and to wrap this up too, they took away the side characters, which made the season one so amazing. We don't even focus on them. Mikey and Dragon uh, were the biggest, people you got behind in the first season. And then season two, you don't even really see Mikey and Dragon that much. It's like, well, that's who I was rocking with in season one. We don't even really see him that much in season two. And Takamichi still sucks. Nah, man, I don't really care about the story. I don't really care about the story. And then the story just got kind of convoluted. Like Reptile said, he really could have just told his girlfriend about the future powers. He was going to tell everybody about the future powers. Yeah, I think they sold by the writer not liking his own man character. I don't know why he did this. Um, and I think ReZero even had to kind of learn to stop doing it as well. That's why a lot of people didn't like ReZero. They just kind of stopped watching ReZero because it was like the main character sucks. It's the main character. If you're the main character, you're the main character. You have to be kind of some type of cool. Like, yeah. And shout out My Hero Academia for doing well because not a lot of people liked Midoriya because he cried too much. So, and this type of setting is going to lead to the next conversation that we're going to talk about, which is the side characters being so much cooler than the main character. And I think the anime that does that best, honestly, is Bungo Stray Dogs. Oh, yes. Yes, yes. Bungo Stray Dogs actually does this the best, in my opinion. Um, to where all the side characters are so cool that you don't really care that the main character is. I think Bungo Stray Dogs does it the best. And I think an anime, especially like Tokyo Revengers, maybe should have took some notes. Um, about it because it really, everyone really likes. I feel like in Bungo, you really like Danzai, the best, super smart, uh, crazy background. He's the genius behind everything, and he can fight too. So, um, I feel like this anime Bungo Stray Dogs does that the best, to where all the side characters are so cool, you don't care about the main character being like, eh. But if we're gonna continue to talk about what's going on, what went wrong with Winter Anime 2023, this is another example. I'm sorry to say this, and this might be a lot of flash. I feel that the storyline, I think Reptile was onto something when he said that there wasn't enough hype behind Bungo Stray Dogs this season four. I do. I think they should have promoted a little bit more. It kind of just feel like, oh yeah, here's Bungo Stray Dogs. It's like, yeah, bro, you do know like Villain Saga's coming back. There's a Demon Slayer movie everyone's talking about. Jujutsu Kaisen is this huge anime right now. Blue Lock with the World Cup going on. My Hero is coming back. Bleach's season in the fall. Like everyone's getting hyped for Attack on Titan in the spring. Like I feel like they should have hyped this anime up a way more, way more. I haven't even heard about Nier Automata, right? Before I heard about Bungo Stray Dogs, I really feel like it should have been hyped more. But I will say, like I said, this anime I think does it the best with side characters being so cool. You don't care about the main character being eh. But Rich said Blue Lock. Blue Lock is fire. But I think Bungo Stray Dogs. At some point, your main character has to develop. I think, although you can go the path of making the side character so cool that nobody really knows that the main character is in, it's just at some point, like I said, he's the main character for a reason. So he has to develop. Like no matter how long it's gonna take, there has to be some type of growth. And I think the reason why Bungo Stray Dog season 4 is just kind of is because there's no development of this guy right here, the tiger man, the werewolf. He's just still kind of He's not that smart. He's not that intelligent. He's still very naive. Even we're in season 4. He's very naive still. You thought he would take a little bit farther step after the end of season 3 in the organization to kind of be more of a leader, kind of finally develop, and he's still like the same guy, the same exact guy with no development. And with these writers, like I said, I give Bungo Stray Dogs they're the ones that do it the best. With like I said, great side characters and main character. But at some point, your main character has to be above because it's like, well, why? How is he gonna save the day? How is he gonna be the guy to really bring it all together? How? Like he's just kind of what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing, bro? Make the main like he's your main character. Why don't you like your main character? It's okay for your main character to have growth. Like nothing's gonna be a cheap shonen where he's like gets mad and he becomes Jesus Christ walking. Like no, that's not what I'm saying. It's season 4. He should be way better than what he was season 1, and he's damn near the same person as he was in season 1. And I think that's what's kind of holding Bungo Stray Dogs back in season 4 because it just feels like, oh, this is just another story, man. You're not invested in it because it seems like other seasons because he is still not that guy. So it's like, oh, the side characters are just going to take care of it, and he's just kind of going to be there. Whereas I feel like if he had a bigger role and developed, I feel like Bungo Stray Dogs season 4 would feel a little bit more different than past seasons, and I think that's kind of the real problem with this anime. I think it's not a huge, not in top 3 letdowns, but I think it's also what makes Winter Anime 2023. What went wrong? And I think that's what went wrong with Bungo Stray Dogs. No development of a main character, which is tying to Tokyo Revengers. No development of the main character. So let's talk about Tokyo Revengers was the biggest letdown of winter anime. I know Reptile's gonna be upset, but I think this was the second biggest letdown of winter anime. I think the second biggest hang on, we're gonna talk about the Psycho-Pass movie in a second. I think this was the second biggest letdown of winter anime 2023. I gotta talk about it. I'm sorry. Yeah, man, this was the second biggest letdown of the winter. I know a lot of people are gonna be upset, Reptile included. Here's why, and I'm gonna say this again: you cannot have a rapid change of a genre of a show and just tell your fans to eat that. If you are a comedy, when you start off season 2, you don't make it a romance and take away all the comedy, right? You don't make it a emotional drama and it was a comedy season 1, and as soon as episode 1 starts of season 2, you make it a drama and expect your fans to have feel nothing about it. You despise slice of life, that's why. I don't despise slice of life. Like, I'll use the same example, bro. Like, if every anime to characters in every anime, bro, you can't. No other anime has ever done this. No show or anime has ever done this. You can't have major action and take all the action away. Even in Gintama, that is a comedy. When they have their serious fights, they slowly ease out the comedy to make it more serious because there's an easing of it out. You don't just boom, no action, right? And then in Vinland Saga, if we're gonna keep it a buck, we don't know Thorfinn. You take away all the action out. We don't know Thorfinn. All we know Thorfinn as is an extremely fighting guy. That's the part that we know and like about Thorfinn. Okay, we don't know anything about Thorfinn. Okay, cool. What type of characters are coming back from season one that we enjoy? Boom. There's no Askeladd. Askeladd's dead. That's the character we liked. He was the main character of season one. He's gone. And the only thing we last remember is okay, well, Thorfinn fights. Thorfinn's a mute. We didn't even know much about him in season one. He just was fighting. And then take that part of him. Okay, what? Okay, Thorfinn, what are you gonna show? The side character, the farm dude. He's okay. His story. I won't, despite having a lot of action and more attention to characters, arc and focus. I won't lie, I started dry though. See, that's what I'm saying. This is why it's a letdown because if you're gonna pivot, you need to ease it out. You can't just do a whole flip. Like I said, no show or no anime has ever done that before, and it's been extremely successful and have no flack. Because if you're gonna say I'm gonna make a pivot and we're gonna turn this into a slow slice of life build of his character, even though we're an heavily action anime and the main character that you like died, right? You're like, oh no, we're not action anymore. We're a slice of life, super slow, no action, none. What? It shows a Sonnen with the struggle of PTSD. See, here's the problem with that though. Thorfinn has no development. This is and me and my co-host for the anime talk show even said it best. Like, there's no development with Thorfinn. The reason why you even like for me, I get upset watching this season is because I see how the king was. The king was a crybaby. We come back, the king is a guy. Thorfinn has no type of development. Like, I feel that Thorfinn should have been somewhere longer, better at the path of where he's at now. It's been years. It's been years. Like, Thorfinn, why are you like this, bro? I would have rather this, if we're gonna go with the timetable, that Thorfinn had not had a time skip. That they should have had it played off right after Thorfinn, right after Askeladd died. Like, he should have been going through this. It would have been cool to focus on him. Like, yo, this is a slow. Yo, he's going to like now. It seems like one he should have been at least farther along in his life than where he is now. That's one. As a slave, he's just this mute dude no one talks about. And then the farm dude that he's with, Enor. You're asking us to care about Enor and what's happened to him in his life when the entirety of season one we were on the side of the Vikings' point of view. So you're completely taking us, stripping away the Viking point of view, and asking us to have sympathy for the farmer's point of view. When it's like, no, bro, you just showed us season one and we've been rocking with those guys. That's the point of view we're rocking with. No care about him. It's like, no, bro, we just had a whole season one of the Viking point of view. That's kind of our feelings now. Like, yeah, I mean, that's tough, but bro, grow up. Like, Thorfinn didn't have an easy childhood. I really believe that this anime really showed huge letdown, and if you want to do a pivot, they should have did it better. Um, and then they're making Thorfinn, like I said, taking away action totally was a bad move, in my opinion. And if you're gonna do that, you should ease it out. And Thorfinn should have had some type of more development than where he's at now. He's like a mute special kid. Seriously, it goes around dead silent. It's like, yo, bro, and then you're just this quiet, bro. If that's the move that they were gonna do, I would have preferred it to start off from exactly when Askeladd died and have him kind of slowly develop. With that gone, he becomes a tool to have closure. You got if you're gonna do that, like I said, he should have been right after Askeladd died. That's when they should have started off the anime for him to have this push because now it's been years. And you watch Thorfinn and you compare him to the king that if you remember from season one was just crybaby, the super weak guy that got stronger from being around Thorfinn. It's like, hey, bro, what are we doing, bro? This is you. This is where you're at, bro. Like, what the fuck are we doing, bro? And you're asking me to like Ener too? I don't know. Ener's a generic story, and I'm supposed to like his point of view when I've been with the Vikings point of view. Yeah, you're supposed to like it. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I have to like it. Okay, I got you. Was there gonna be any type of fighting? No fighting. Nope. Okay. Does Thorfinn care about anything? No, he still doesn't care about nothing. He still is just this mute deaf kid that you don't really know about. What the fuck are we? What the fuck are we doing? What the fuck are we? What are we doing? What are we doing? Like I said, if I'm gonna compare Thorfinn to King Canute, you're devastated where Thorfinn's at right now, and you're like, yo, this is bad. And I'm gonna also say this: if we're gonna be honest, in season one, he was a side character. I didn't even realize that until my co-host brought it up on when I was hosting fellow debater. They brought it up. It was like, yo, Thorfinn was like a side character in season one, which he was. Escalade was the main character. Escalade's not in season two anymore. It was on Thorfinn to be some type of special. And what do we get in the first couple episodes? He's mute. He doesn't talk. And we're supposed to like Enor. No, I don't like bro. He's not charismatic. He's supposed to hold the show. No one Thorfinn's supposed to hold the show. I don't even know Thorfinn. I know Escalade. And the part about Thorfinn that I liked was his revenge thing. And it's like, yo, he should be progressing more. He should be somewhere into. So I'm gonna say Vinland Saga 100% was one of the letdowns of the anime. Winter Anime 2023. Second biggest letdown was Tokyo Revengers. Although it was warned multiple times by people that this anime was going to be slow, I still think that they went about it a wrong way because no other anime could ever take away their action scenes and it'd be okay. I have a video about it already. Some people were, because I listed, well, if Naruto took out his fighting, would it be Naruto? I was like, well, that's because it's a shonen. I said, okay, I'll really assign it. If Berserk takes away all its fighting, Berserk's not the same show. Erased. If Erased takes away the mystery part and it becomes a romance, what are people going to say? What is this? What the fuck is this? What is this? This is not what I wanted to watch. If I'm going to talk about monster anime, if Monster takes out the mystery and the thriller side, and it becomes a comedy, what are people going to say? Yo, what the fuck is this? Yo, what the fuck is what is this, bro? What is this? What are we doing? What are we doing? So those are my best examples of why Vinland Saga was a letdown, even though I do believe the show was still good. Like the writing was still good, the animation was still good. I just think it was let down for the fans. Whereas I believe Tokyo Revengers was just bad, like just a bad season. It was just fell off completely. But I just think Vinland Saga in itself was just it pivoting is what made it a letdown. And a lot of fans, including myself, I believe aren't huge fans of it. I think there's a lot of Reptile still enjoys it. Peak Johan, yeah, so peak. And I think if you're gonna do something like that, you gotta go about it better. And he took a risk. And Reptile's one of, like I said, me and Reptile go back and forth with anime conversations. I think a lot of Vinland Saga glizzy gobblers don't even hear my point out. They're just like, "Oh, you're just hating." And it's just like, bro, like, no, like, there's no other anime or TV show that could have did this, and they wouldn't have no pushback. Yeah. But yeah, I think season 2 has been hard though. All in all, with winter animes, I think a lot of animes just didn't hit hard. Yeah, they just be glizzy gobblers. I think honestly that my favorite anime though of the season was an anime that I didn't even think that I was questioning would be good, and that was Reincarnated, the world's strongest sorcerer. I think that anime is fire. I actually really like it. I think reincarnations are here to say. We had that conversation last time. I gave Winter a 7 out of 10. I think Winter did bad, bro. I think Winter did bad. I think Fall was fire, but Fall was like historically good though. Winter 7 out of 10. I'm gonna give it a 6, bro. And High Card is. Oh, there was two more. There was two more. Oh my gosh, my fault, y'all. My fault, y'all. Before we get to the most anticipated, High Card. How was High Card? How are we giving High Card? What are we giving High Card? Reptile. Reptile? Did you watch High Card? High Card feels blah. Before we close out, High Card feels blah. Fall. There was a lot of hype to Fall, but I thought Winter had the goods though. Nah. High Card. I'll be honest with y'all. I watched the first episode. I don't know if it's the animation or the fact that he has like the gun as a tool. It just feels very cheesy to me. I feel like it's not for my age group. Oh, there's other people here. Okay, so Boba, Boba comes in and he says High Card was heat for 7 episodes, then it went off track with 11, put it all together. Rishke says 8 out of 10 High Card. Boba says High Card has a high solid power system. So I'm gonna be honest, I'm just not a huge fan of the animation, and I like my characters to be a little bit stronger. But it had a solid premise. I couldn't get into it, as you guys see in the chat. They're defending it. They're gonna be like, "Nah, it's smooth," and so I'm gonna rock with it. If they say it's smooth, I'm gonna give it. For me, it was a solid. I couldn't even finish it. I couldn't even get into it. It just was like, I gotta say, I appreciate them doing something new. No reincarnation, no fantasy. There's like this poker thing with cars, and I think that's what made it cool. I think it. I think I have to give it. I think I need to go back and watch some more episodes to give the main character a chance to even be charismatic to me. But I couldn't really get drawn to him. You know what I'm saying? Um, what is it? 2.5. Yeah, it's like this. Yeah, it's like this. I don't really know what to call this animation because it kind of reminds me of the Chinese type animations. If you guys ever watch Chinese anime, it kind of reminds me of that. This type of animation, like I just couldn't. Seems just one of those kind of goofy animes to me. So I kind of just was like, yeah, as y'all can see, is this type of animation that I'm like, yeah, no, I'm pretty cool off of it. Like I didn't really not my cup of tea animation, Uh, yeah, it just wasn't my type of animation, so I couldn't really rock with it. So that's why I got it very low on there. It just seemed generic to me, so I wasn't really down with it. Boba said I just watched it because I had a Black Lightning user. It's funny that his car was a Giga Diamonds. That's actually funny. That is actually funny. But yeah, no, I wasn't too big on this one. Honestly speaking, it was whatever. And but like I said, we have two people in the chat that are throwing it up for you guys. But if we're talking about what went wrong with Winter Anime 2023, this was it's just cool to me. This anime Revenger, I had so high hopes for. I'm gonna be honest, and it was fucking trash. It was fucking. It was. Do you have an anime list? Yes, I do. We're gonna review that after this. After I finish this. What went wrong with anime 2023? I just don't. I just don't. It was. Oh my. I don't read manga. This Revenger was so trash. And here's why it's trash. It's trash because it's. Oh my gosh! You have samurai. You have samurai in the Edo era, Edo period. It's such a layup. It's a layup. It's a layup. It's a layup. Yo, listen, listen. It's a layup. In Revenger basically stole. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm a immortal. What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? Anime the Immortal. What is his name? What's his name? What is his name? What is his name? Oh my god. Anime the Fighter Chasing Gold. I forgot their names. Hold on. They literally copied the entire Immortal Ghost Golden Kamuy. That is what it's called. Revenger literally basically just copied Golden Kamuy. And I was like, yo, maybe. Oh my god. I'm like, yo, maybe like it'll be somewhat smooth. It was terrible. Felt generic is the biggest thing. Basic. Bland. Nothing different about it. He's like the main character in the first episode. I couldn't get past the first episode. I was like, what is this, bro? This is just not good. He's an idiot. He gets manipulated. And you're just like, bro, are you dumb? Like, are you that dumb? Like watching him get manipulated, you must have been an idiot, bro. like you're just a dumbass. Like usually you feel bad for somebody getting manipulated, like, yeah, but you were just a dumbass, bro. And joined this organization looking for the gold. And like I said, it's just a carbon copy of Golden Kamuy, and it doesn't even do it justice. It had a layup and it sold. And this is one of the anime that I was like, oh, it should be kind of good. You know, Edo period, samurai, trash. So yeah, what went wrong with Winter Anime 2023? I would say a lot of season twos didn't live up to the hype. Villain Saga was smooth, but it did make a pivot. Tokyo Revenger's biggest letdown of Winter Anime 2023, 100%. And it's so my number one anime of that one though, I would say is the reincarnation of the world's strongest sorcerer. That was probably the best winter anime that I watched, in my opinion. Um, yeah, that's probably the best one. Yeah. But not counting obviously My Hero, Blue Lock, and Image of the Shadow because those were from fall. But yeah, man, it's your boy Chosen. Hope you guys enjoyed my point of view of Winter Anime 2023, my review of it. Really hope I think spring is gonna knock it out of the park. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, Attack on Titan by itself is kind of gonna kill it. To be honest with y'all, but I know there's some other great spring anime that is on the way, and I'm happy. I believe Renero Kenshin is coming out. Oh, I didn't even talk about Trigun. I didn't watch Trigun, so I don't really give a take. I just didn't like the animation for Trigun. That's why I didn't talk about it for Winter Anime 2023. But overall, though, I'm hyped. Yeah, man, Winter Anime 2023 was huge let down, and I also am not counting Record of Ragnarok. I could count it. I guess Record of Ragnarok season 2 honorable mention, but it's your boy Chosen, man. Let me know what I should talk about, react to next. How did y'all rank Winter Anime 2023? Let me know in the comments. What was your favorite anime of the winter? It's your boy Chosen. I'm out.